Good evening, everyone. My name is Aristotle Jones, a junior political science major from Indianapolis, Indiana. And this evening I will be producing my poster board on the Louisiana slave database by Dr. William Hall. And my abstract is over 100,000 slaves from the Louisiana area. That is real life data that Dr. Hall has pronounced and found in a courthouse in Louisiana just by accident. My figure 1 here shows the illustrations of race within Louisiana slaves, and when you see it from a closer angle, you'll see that blacks dominated the area of Louisiana slaves. Figure 2 shows the origin of slaves, and the biggest area was from Africa, of course, which is kind of questionable. Figure 3 shows the Louisiana slave runaways, and as you know, that a lot of slaves also like to run away from these horrible conditions, so they would run away. My figure 4 shows the sex of the slaves that were produced in this era, and as you see, male slaves were more dominant because they were more used as handy workers or hard workers, but yet female slaves were also used because they used to reproduce slaves in a matter of ways to keep slavery intact for years. Then my final figure is figure 5, which shows the skills of slaves, which shows that around like 2.7% of slaves were domestic workers, 2% were craftsmen, and 2% worked in agriculture. But then my conclusions, I found that this is real life data, and that I really have to take time to really appreciate this data because this could have been my ancestors. I found that that the population of these slaves, it was very diverse yet more dominated by blacks, of course, like I said in figure 1, and these origins came from all over, just not Africa, from a Creole, mulatto, everything like that. And finally, furthermore, I use variables such as race, origin, runaway, sex, and skills, as I said previous, and I use these variables to understand the true meaning of slave database in the Louisiana area.